You ever meet someone who seems charming on the surface, but there's something about the way they smile, something about the lifelessness in their eyes that you can't quite articulate, but it unnerves you and makes you wonder if maybe you should be afraid for your life? Have you met Nibbler? This is part 17 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 3. So, in Fish Food Frenzy, the Kongs make a new friend. His name is Nibbler, and he's off-putting. That's the nicest thing I can say about him. But he makes for a very interesting level idea. See, Nibbler follows you around, but not for nothing. Like your mum, he's perpetually hungry. And like your mum, if he doesn't get a steady supply of seafood, he's gonna start chowing down on the other white meat. There's no shortage of Cocos throughout the level, so move at a decent pace and you should be fine. I say should, because there's a bunch of lurchins around the place too. And if Nibbler wraps his supple lips around one of them, he's not gonna like it. You have a decent, if imperfect, degree of control over Nibbler's diet, so whether or not he stays happy is very much up to you. And it's not all bad. With no on guard in Fish Food Frenzy, Nibbler's your only way of taking out bad guys. And there are times when it's almost necessary to do that. So when you work with Nibbler, the level gets much easier. Could Nibbler's presence have something to do with the abandoning of Cotton Top Cove? I know it's attributed to the Kremlings, but this gnarly carnivorous sea monster probably had something to do with it, right? Then again, he's pretty friendly when he's well fed. Maybe he's like those piranhas that don't bother people because they're too well fed to care. To me, Baz's Blockade is the quintessential DKC3 water level. But looking at it now, I think Fish Food Frenzy is more beautiful. The more muted palette of the coral feels somehow less hostile to me and has a sort of autumnal quality to it. The contrast between it and the green and turquoise background is more harmonious too. And as I mentioned in the previous video, it pairs up well with Tracker Barrel Trek, just as Baz's Blockade and Rocket Barrel Ride pair up nicely. But could that palette hint at something more? Is the green haze of the background from algae formed in the stagnating pool that is Fish Food Frenzy? Could Nibbler's irritability be due to the food insecurity caused by the dying off of the natural fish population? I mean, weirder things have been brought up on this channel, right? I'm fairly sure I've said this all before, but I do feel it bears repeating. A lot of the theories and speculations in this and all Overthinking series on this channel aren't onto something. I think for the most part, Occam's razor and the rule of cool. There's nothing more going on with the environmental detail. The colors or whatever are just there because the developers thought it looked rad. I like dissecting stuff, and some games, whether it's Resident Evil, Super Metroid, or DKC, definitely have a lot more going on than initially appears. But sometimes, a fish is just a fish, you know? I'm bringing this up now because I don't think there's that much to work with in this game, and I feel the previous game was in a similar boat too. So while I might speculate about stuff, and it might get a bit tinfoil hat at times, I'm just spitballing, you know? I'm not staking my claim on these theories. Sometimes the leap from evidence to assertion is too tenuous, but like the games themselves, at the end of the day, this is all just for fun. No sense in doing this if we're not enjoying ourselves, right?